Welcome, Legion. Today I want to talk to you guys about managing your training loads to optimize performance and also reducing the risk of injury. So training is stressful and it increases fatigue. So as you can see on the little graph here behind me, I'm going to refer to this a fair bit today. We can see the green line. Now the green line is, say, like a normal trend line if we're balancing out our stress or our training to our recovery ratios. So you can see that this initial phase here, as it goes down, this is actually a period of training. Now this could be over a day, so after we've trained, so the fatigue increases, and then let's say that this might be 24 to 48 hours later and we've recovered, we've put some recovery process in, we've slept well, we've ate well, we start to go back up. And if we've recovered well enough, what happens is we go past our normal status. So this straight black line here is just, say, like our normal status, what we would, the fittest we are right now. So the point of training is we go down a little bit and then we come back up and we go a little bit past our current level of fitness, and this is our increased fitness. Now realistically over time, this line here actually shifts up and down, like it's not really fixed, because sometimes we're feeling really fit, depends how much training we've actually accumulated over time, and then sometimes we're in a really fatigued state, or we've deconditioned, we've gone on holidays, etc, etc. So the line is actually moving, but just for a general visual representation, let's say this is a normal training block, over 12 weeks. So we actually go down, but we deload a little bit, so we recover, we come back up, and then we train again, and we go back down, so we're a little bit more fatigued, and then we come back up again. And then you can't really see it, but what we're doing is we're actually gradually building this over time. So we're increasing our fitness, but we need this small element of fatigue first to create this rebound effect of fitness. Now, this other line here is a visual representation of what happens when there's too much stress. So too much stress, it's hard to recover, or we're not recovering adequately enough, which means we're actually going to, over time, create less fitness. So we can actually become less fit from training too hard. This is a very possible thing. So you can see here, our line here, let's say we go, oh, we went a little bit too hard, maybe too long. And now this point here is either you've now started to pick up some signs and symptoms of overtraining or under-recovering, as we refer to it sometimes as well. Or maybe you got injured, potentially, maybe not. Let's say you're just not recovering well enough, or you just left it a little bit too long and you're almost forced into recovery. You're like, geez, something's just about to break here, I need to take a break. So you take a bit of a break and then you start to come up. Okay, cool, I'm starting to get back to normal. But you're not going to overcompensate because you went too deep this way, yeah? So what happens is you recover, like, oh cool, I'm going to train again, and then you haven't learnt your lesson again and we go down even deeper now. Alright? Again, this might be the point of no return, or it might be like, oh, no, I'm just buggered. I just can't do anymore, I need to have a break. Now what happens if we've had a break, because it's almost been forced, and then we try to come up again, so we're slowly going to start to come back up again, cool, alright, we're starting to recover, but you haven't adequately recovered from that piece, bang, down you go again. And look, you're not even close to fitness, like you're not even above your fitness line, you're just more and more fatigued. You're just more and more fatigued. And then maybe this end point here is actually where you get injured, and then really this whole fitness line shifts right down because you're not going to be as fit as what you were because you're injured. Yeah? So I think the key takeaway from this is actually a real simple analogy that we say all the time is less is more and more is less. And the idea of this is try and find your minimal dosage effect. So what's the minimum amount of work that I need to do to get the best results possible? It's not about just grinding, mental toughness, all that kind of action. Yes, you still need to train hard, you need to work towards something, but it's important to also have those periods of recovery. And so you train enough, recover well, train a little bit more, recover well, train a little bit more, and then all of a sudden accumulatively over the time, this green line here actually starts to do these ones. Having said that, this line here shifts anyway. It goes up, you become more and more fit. Yeah? The other important part to this is to plan your training. This is how we can actually monitor and manage, because it's going to change depending on what you're doing. So this fatigue status is going to change depending on what you're doing and what phase of training that you're in. And this doesn't really matter what sport we're talking about. Off-season, pre-season, in-season, it's all going to change. So in-season, there's going to be a lot of other stress that comes along with competition. The games every week, or even the game, the event, the tournament that you're in, that's going to create a lot of stress. So it's really important that you just recover from that. There's no point doing fitness work in the middle of that period because you are too fatigued. You need to recover. Off season, there's probably going to be less sport specific fatigue. Alright? So what we need to create is we need to create some other fatigue via training really hard in the gym or training really hard on the track, but just working on those specific athletic qualities. But if we even this, we need to do this well enough. We can't just punish you in the gym and expect that we're going to get this rebound effect. And if this has been happening to you where you're trying to make some progress but you can't quite, I'd ask yourself some questions. Am I actually doing too much? It is possible you're doing too little as well, definitely. There is a certain amount of stimulus that we need to create. Have you balanced your training and your recovery? And this isn't just necessarily weeks on end. This might be from day to day, week to week, alright, and then month to month. So you're planning it out over a 3-month period, over a 6-month period, over a year period. If you think and refer to the Olympics, these guys train and periodise and plan over 4-year blocks, which is crazy to think, but that's what they're doing on such a large scale. We can bring it down a little bit smaller and make it way less complicated for you guys if we just sit down and work out, alright, what are we working towards? What are our goals? What are our targets? What do we need to achieve? Alright, awesome. Now we've got a plan and we just want to make sure that we're following this nice line here and we're slowly edging this. This is where I currently am. Line is pushing up. Fitter. Little bit of fatigue, little bit of fitness, little bit of fatigue, little bit of fitness. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. I might create another one to maybe elaborate even further on it. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them below. Cheers.